Hey, what's up guys? How's everybody doing today? It's great and wonderful to see all of you here today. Yes. So whenever you make a decision, right, of something you want or you desire, the universe actually starts to conspire to bring that into physical form. We fail to realize this because of how we were taught and our beliefs. The whole script, the whole game it has changed. They really changed the game on us. And what do I mean by that? Well, the best way I could put it to you is, where we live, we exist in this matrix. It's not a place that's designed for us to reach our full potential. It's a place of settlement. It's a place of mundane. It's a place of limit. It's a place of lack. It's not the place where you go and train to be your best version. It doesn't work here like this. Where we live in the three-dimensional world, the name of this game is not to train you to be your best. It's to train you for you to be the best for them. It's not the best for you. And this is something you have to understand. Whenever you get up and every morning, whatever you're doing, you have to have in the back of your mind that everything you see around you, it's not designed for you to be at your fullest, your best, your God self. It's actually designed to keep you the opposite. You know what? The best analogy I like to give to you is, okay, if you're into sports, tennis, basketball. So if you know you have talent, right? They send you to a camp, and the camp is they got experts. The experts train you how to position yourself, timing, footwork. So because you already have the talent, so they train you to be the best at what you can be. Here in the matrix, it doesn't work that way. They can recognize you have the talent, the chosen ones, but they will do their very best to thwart your talent, to really keep you in an ideology of lack and limitation. And one of the biggest tricks they use, and this I'm telling you, is, we have been conditioned that when we make decisions on what we want, or if we decide on something we want, it's also our responsibility to have to figure out how we're going to get what we want. Or it's even deeper than that. Sometimes we decide what we want, but our own minds won't allow us to go further for what we want, because our mind stops and says, yeah, you may want that, but ain't no way it's going to happen. That's what your mind say to you. Your mind will say, dream on. It'll laugh at you. And that's something that you really have to understand. I can't even say, not even understand, whatever. But that's something you have to know. So it puts your own mind literally against you. So what do you have to do? Now you have to understand, okay, how does making a decision really help me to get what I want? And this is what they hid from you. You see, anytime you decide in your mind that that's what you want, you have started a chain reaction. The chain reaction first begins in the mind. The conscious mind now says, okay, that's what we want. Before the conscious mind gets it to thwart it, to put it away, it's already into the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind now is preparing to go manifest it for you. But what do 99% of people do? When they want something and they figure out they don't know how to get it, they cut the channel, they cut the communication, they cut the instruction, they forget about it. Because they are wrapped up in, I have to figure out how I'm going to get this. And then your subconscious mind shuts back down. You have to be able to keep your subconscious mind open. If the subconscious mind is not open, it can't bring you what you want. So here's how you fix it. Whenever you decide something you want, just go and keep thinking about the something you want. See it as an end product, as a done deal. There is the universe. Your mind is not asking you to figure out how to get your biggest wishes and desires. It's just asking you, or it's telling you to show me. Show me what your life look like. Show me, tell me how you feel with what you have in your life. That's all it's really saying to you. Show me what your life look like with the jackpot winning ticket. Show me what your life look like with your business doing great. Show me what your life looked like when you're healthy and energized. That's all it's saying. It's not saying you have to, it's not saying you go figure out how to do this. It doesn't work that way. And if you think about it logically, let's use logic now, because you know, why would you have all these different minds if you are supposed to be figuring out how to get what you want? You don't tell the universe, the multiverse, the field, this is the way you're going to bring it to me. You don't have, that's not your job to do it. The only way, I'll make one exception. The only time you tell the multiverse, the universe, the field, this is how you want to do it, is if you're manifesting a lottery. That's it. And the universe will bring it to you that way. If you are not attached to the outcome, meaning that if you're doing it and you're open and it's fun, but in the back of your mind you just keep the options open. That's the only time it works. The universe is. But for anything else in your life, you cannot go and try and figure out the channel for it to get it, because you are incapable of seeing it. Point blank. You can't see what you can't see. You can't know what you can't know. So that's why you have other parts of your consciousness or your mind. The other parts of your mind, that's their duty, that's their job. Their job is to go out and do the figuring out for you. You don't figure anything out. You just see what you want, and then it comes to you. Hi. I say, hi Mark, I just hit for 10,000. Congratulations. There you go. So you can see how you guys are very talented. You guys are very gifted in manifesting what you want, and you're seeing it come into fruition. You know, the hardest thing, listen, check this out. You know what the hardest thing for your mind to accept is? Your greatness. Do you know that? Your mind, it's very hard for your mind to accept that you're great, man. Because if your mind accepts that you are great, you are invalidating your mind. Your mind cannot take invalidation. I don't know if you know this. Your mind thinks it's great, and it thinks you are beneath it. I don't know if you know that either. Well, Mark, how do you know this is true? You want to test this right now to show you? Go dream of something big. Go think of your biggest desires. Go dream of it right now. And tell me if your mind is all on board with you. If your mind is all on board with you, I'm 100% wrong. Matter of fact, I will tell you what your mind says. Go dream something big. You know what your mind say? Stop. It ain't happening. How? You're dreaming. Can't have it. Oh, I mean, am I lying? So you have to recognize, okay, that your mind is never going to accept your greatness. You have to let your mind accept your greatness. Mark, how do I let my mind accept my greatness, man? The fastest way to let your mind accept your greatness is to unplug and ignore your mind. Unplug from it. Unplug from your mind. You have to treat your mind like background noise. You know, we've all been conditioned for background noise. When we walk out into our homes and we go outside, we hear car horns, beep, 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 airplanes, whoosh, we hear all these background noises. The background noises doesn't freak any of you out. As a matter of fact, your brain does a great job of tuning them out. They're just background noise. I don't know anybody that goes outside and says, "Oh my God, too many car horns. Look at the sound of the airplane. My goodness, look at those birds whistling. I can't take it. It's too much. Oh, yeah, the wind. My goodness. I mean, I don't know anybody. Do you? I mean, you don't even notice. You don't really notice the background noise, especially if you live in a big city. Trains, cars. It's just a normal day to you. Do you stop and listen to the train? Man, this train is really distracting me. Oh my goodness. The sound of the birds is distracting me. These cars, these sound, these just doesn't work. It doesn't distract you. So it's the same analogy with your mind. That's how you have to. So when your mind is telling you, oh, you can't do it, it's not good, da 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 da, you're this, you're that. Keep in your mind, background noise. This is a background noise. Background. Listen, it's really, really important for you to do this, because if you're going to manifest what you want, you can't take your mind with you. Your mind can't go where greatness goes. I don't know if you know that. As logical as you're thinking, like, people, when you when you manifest and win the lottery, when I won the lottery, my mind didn't come with me. It couldn't come with me. I had to leave it behind. If my mind came with me, I wouldn't have won the lottery. When you're going to do big things, your mind can't go with you. Your mind can't go. I'm talking about your conscious mind, your logical, that mind can't go. The only mind that goes with you is your creative mind, your intuitive mind, your higher self, your subconscious. That's the mind that goes with you, because that's the mind that has infinity. If you take your mind with you to your greatness, you're not going to achieve greatness. And listen, you can't blame your mind, because your mind wasn't built to be great. Your mind was built for the bare necessities. It was built for survival, not thriving. You have to make thriving your new normal reality. Your mind is just as good as in survival mode. That's what you have to get in your head. Your mind will always keep you in survival. I'll give you a perfect example of it. Here's the first thing people do. People have this. When people desire something and they dream for something, they go with a backup plan. They have plan A and they have plan B. That's an example of the mind. What else they do? What happens? People also settle. What do people do? They create, when people are going for the big desires, they put a little mattress, a little bed or a little mattress, so that when they fall, they have something to fall back on. So what they're saying is, I'm going to settle. So if I can't get this, I'm going to settle for that. But what people fail to realize is, the minute you have a big dream and you have a plan B, your subconscious mind is going to fulfill the plan B more than the plan A. Your subconscious will manifest you settling more than your biggest desires, because you're putting two incongruent vibrations. And your subconscious mind works with knowing. Your subconscious mind don't play around. It's not like you and me, where we have fiddle. We fiddle with our mind. We have we say, well, I don't know if I'm gonna decide. Your subconscious mind is a straight shooter, a straight manifester. It goes straight to the point. Your subconscious mind don't dilly-dally. It doesn't wait for you to make a decision. If you don't make a decision, that's a decision to your subconscious mind. Not making a decision is a decision. Okay? So you have to get into, you have to see, this is what I'm teaching you guys and show you guys. You have to understand the mechanism of how your mind works. See, when you understand the mechanism of your mind, you can free yourself, because some of this you didn't know. And the most common one is, and this is why I always say to individual, I said, listen, when you're manifesting something, we don't do plan B. We go with plan A only. We don't have backups. We don't do backups. It's win or go home. If you have that mentality put in your head, you'll always get what you want. But if you're doing backups, you're going to manifest more backups. Let me tell you why you manifest backups. Someone would be saying to me, well, it's logical, you got to have a backup. No, you don't have to have a backup, because let me tell you what happens. I'm showing you again how your mind works. Check this out. So if you're manifesting something big, right? And you say, well, if I can't get this, I'll settle for that. In your logical mind, you think, I'm all set. I'm still manifesting what I truly want, but I'm gonna settle for that. You think you're manifesting what you want, but you're not actually doing that. You're manifesting actually what you don't want, because the minute you decide whatever it is you want, your subconscious catches that. But then you change the frequency and have a backup. So now your subconscious moves from what you want to the settle. So you think you're still into what you want, but in actuality, your subconscious is more manifesting the settle. Why is it manifesting the settle? Because your energy is more into settling. You may think, no, Mark, I'm still manifesting what I want. No, you're not. Your highest energy is into the backup plan. No, it's not. How are you gonna tell me my highest energy is into the backup plan? Let me tell you why. Because the minute you decided what you want and you went down to settling, you lost the focus. You're compromising. You've been compromised. So what your mind does, your mind's not going to reach for what you want, because you've told your mind you're not confident to get what you want. You're confident more to settle. So your mind is illogical. Your subconscious. So it's not thinking like, okay, I get. Your conscious mind, very good guy. He'll say to you, Mark, I get what you're doing. You're very smart, Mark. You actually designed to get that, but if you can't get that, you're going to settle for something else. I got you. That's great. But I got news for you. My conscious mind can compliment me and be my friend all day and tell me I'm smart and good, but guess what? It still won't get me what I want, because it can't manifest. So I'm just going to have a cheerleader that's going to cheer me on, and I'm going to have no results. That's not going to help me. So if that's what you want, let your mind lie to you and tell you all this good stuff, but you won't get it. Now, I'm going to my subconscious mind. So you know what I do? You either give it to me, or give it to me another way where I can get it. But there's no plan B's for me, man. That's it. There is no settling for me. I'm not going to settle. Because I'm settled, I'm going to get what I'm settling for. I'm not going to get what I want. Everybody wants what they want. You don't want what you settle for. That's a figment of the matrix. And get this out. Check this out. You actually can and will get your plan A. The reason why people give up is because their own minds have told them that they're not great. And the matrix tell you you're not great. The matrix says you can't have that stuff. But it's literally impossible for you not to have what you want. I can say that with 100% certainty and confidence. Well, why can you say that, Mark? Well, if you know how the game is programmed and how the game is worked, then you will understand. So let me teach you a little bit of how the game works. First of all, the game is not limited. The game is infinite. If the game is infinite, that means every possible outcome already exists. Another thing, the game doesn't work with time. There's no time in the game. It's a made-up thing by us. So once you comprehend that, so the game is infinite, there's no time, all bets are off. Everything is possible now. All you have to do is allow it to come to you. Now, if you're getting impatient, it's your mind again. Your mind is winning. Anytime you get impatient, it's your mind winning. Anytime you're patient, it's you winning. That's right. There's no clock in space. When you leave the Earth orbit, your clocks don't work like that anymore. It's a man-made confinement in our 3D reality. When you go into the real game, you know, it's like this. I put it to you. I use sports again. So you have the teams, they play in their stadium or their court, and they have their practice facility. In their practice facility, they're doing all the stuff. Then they go into the real game where everything works. That's where you live. In the matrix is your practice facility. You're in the practice facility, right? This is the Earth, the 3D. This is practice facility. When you go into your higher mind, you go into the real game. Now you're in the real game. So what happens is a lot of people mistake the practice facility for the real game. So they get confused and they don't get results. Only a chosen few know the real game, like you guys. So you guys are chosen ones. You know the real game. And this is something you have to remind yourself, because if you don't remind yourself this daily, you will lose sight of it and you'll go back into your limited mind. This is why you have to keep upgrading your brain. You have to keep watching content like this that reminds you, so that you can build a habit. When you build a habit, you will change your subconscious, and your subconscious overpowers your conscious. So even when your conscious doubts you, you have this feeling of knowing which will overcome the doubt. So this is what I talk about when I say make the subconscious conscious. Yes, what you're actually doing is rewiring neuroplasticity. Listen now, it takes patience, it takes consistency, and it does take persistence. And the reason it takes those things, because your brain has been rewired a certain way, so you have to rewire it again. So it's not this is not an overnight process. I'm not going to come here and tell you guys, overnight like, they put out stuff. No, you have to do some type of routine repetition to get this to work. That's the part you got to get. That's the part a lot of people don't get, and they give up and they stop because, you know, I don't have time, I can't. Well, then your mind's not gonna have time for you, because I mean, you know, that's the truth of how it works. Anything you want, you gotta become good at what you're manifesting. How do you become good at something? Practice. Mark, how do I practice being a great manifester, man? How do I practice winning millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands in the lottery? Mark, how do I practice making my business do 7 figures, 6 figures? How do I practice being healthy? I'll tell you how to practice. Number 1, imagination. Practice seeing images in your mind. Practice seeing it in the end. Number 2, feelings. Practice feeling what it would feel like to have what you want on a daily routine to make it normal. Number 3, voice, words. Ask affirmation questions. Why am I so worthy and deserving? Why am I so wealthy? Why? That's practice. Practice subliminals every night. Now your game will get better. Now you'll be a lottery pick. You'll be a top 10 pick. Now you in the first round. You're not second round. You're not the 4th round. You're a top. They call it lottery picks. You know those guys that go to the sports? Why do you think they call him lottery pick? He's a lottery pick because it's like a 1 in a million. It's like rare to have that. Now you become a lottery pick in the universe. Universe says, okay, you're a top 5 pick. What do you want? Those lottery picks, they get big contracts, right? They get guaranteed contracts. When you're a lottery pick, you get guaranteed money. You're not a lottery pick. You're playing for money. So you gotta be a lottery pick in the universe by practicing. When you practice, the universe will select you the number 1, number 2, number 3. You'll be in the top 10. Top 10s get guaranteed money. You get guaranteed manifestations. You don't want to fall into the 2nd round and 3rd round. Then you go play overseas. You go play in the G League. You come back. You're on a 10-day contract. You don't want that, right? You want to be 1st round, top 10. So if you want to be top 10, you have to practice. I mean, it works the same way, man. The universe is not going to pick you if you're not consistent and patient and repetition of your habits. It's not going to pick you. I mean, it'll pick you, but you'll be in the 2nd round. You want to be a 1st round draft? You want to be 1st draft pick? Practice with your imagination. Get your subconscious mind attuned, in tune. Then you can have anything you want. And let me tell you something powerful. Think about this. Once you practice your game and you become great at visualizing, at your emotional balance, at feeling, at your affirmations, at your just discipline, you know, your focus and your repetition. Once you become great at those things, you know what happens? Your brain keeps you there. So it becomes more easier for you to manifest on a consistent basis. It's like this. Once you remember when you learned to ride a bicycle? Remember when you first learned to ride a bicycle? It was hard, right? You fell off a little bit. But once you learn to ride a bicycle, 10 years, you may not touch a bicycle for 10 years. Say 10 years go by. And you go back and ride a bicycle, your brain remembers how to ride a bicycle. Once you learn to read, you don't forget how to read. It's muscle memory. So once you learn to manifest, you're gonna be a manifesting machine. Your brain's not gonna forget that how to make you manifest lots of money. It's not gonna make you forget how to manifest health. It's gonna, matter of fact, let me tell you how deep this is. Even your own limited mind, when you learn to manifest the greatness, even when after you learn it and it's stuck in your subconscious, even if you try to unmanifest your greatness, you can't do it again. Your mind will force you back into greatness. So even when your own conscious mind is trying to sabotage you and saying, no, you can't do that anymore, your own subconscious mind will make you do something to not sabotage your greatness, because it's already rewired in your head. So it means that, you know what that means? It means you are virtually guaranteed success all the time. A lot of people don't know that stuff. See, a lot of people don't even know that. Because once something gets ingrained and wired in your brain, man, it's no longer in your control. It's in your subconscious. It means it makes you a doer. It's going to make you do it. That means you can book it 10. So if you get really good at manifesting the lottery, like if you're manifesting lottery, you're getting free tickets right now, $1, $2, you're going to start winning 100, 200, 500, 10,000, 20,000, a million, and then you can chill and go back and you're going to keep doing it because your brain is rewired in that stuff. If you're good at business now, you're doing that, it's going to be rewired at that stuff. So you're always going to be in the right place at the right time. You're always going to keep winning and winning and winning. But there's the but. In order for you to get to that level, you got to do the work. If you don't do the work, you can't get the results. If you don't get good at imagination, if you don't develop a healthy delusional thinking, if you don't visualize every night while you're going to bed, if you don't use subliminals every night while you're sleeping, if you don't use affirmations daily or whatever, if you don't do any of those things, you are not going to reach your full potential. Point blank. There's no other way I can tell it to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. A lot of people sugarcoat stuff. They'll tell you, oh, just think positive. No. Positivity is a part of the process. But it's deeper than positivity. It's implementation. You have to implement. You have to get your subconscious to reorganize to create a new habit. That takes work. Not hard work. It just takes consistent work. It's actually, to me, it's easy. That's the easiest work I ever seen in my life. Because I'm doing something I like to do. I love to visualize. I love to feel like everything is mine. I mean, that's not work. Is that work? If it's work, then you're in the wrong game. You're in the wrong universe. And it's not for you. I mean, I'm thinking right now, if it makes me feel good when I think about what I want, I don't feel bad. When I go to sleep and I visualize, it makes me feel good. Subliminals makes me feel good. Affirmations definitely make me feel good. I don't consider that work. But that's what you got to know to master the game, my friends, my chosen ones. You don't have to be crazy with it, but you have to be a little delusional with it. You have to get to the point where, and this is when you know you're there. When what people say to you, it bounces off of you. So when people start to say, well, I think you're kind of delusional, Mark. Well, that's when I've arrived. Well, it's possible, but unlikely. That's when I arrive. Well, I like how you could dream big and have great ideas, but that's not how the world works. That's when I've arrived. When they start saying those things to me, I know I'm there, because they don't know how the world works. When someone tells me that, I know that I have big dreams and I'm on the right path. Because here's what happens. Take an English speaking person and take another person speaking French or French. Put them together. Have them say the same thing. They won't understand each other. Speak different languages. That's what's happening. So the people that tell you this, they're not speaking your language anymore. Both of you are right now. They're right. They're right. You are right and they're right. So when they tell you, it's not going to work, that's too high. I mean, I get it, man. You have really big thoughts and dreams, but we have to be realistic. The world doesn't really work like that. There's a lot of unforeseen things that happen. They're right. But when you say, yeah, I'm going to win 5 more times. My business is going to make a lot of money and I'm going to do this and that. You're right too. Both of you are right. But here's the difference. Pay attention. This is the difference. The minute they tell you you can't do all that stuff, the universe splits off and they become a reality in a world where in their consciousness they can't see you doing it. The minute you say you can do it, the universe splits off and in your world you see you do it. But here, pay attention. Here's what happens now. Because you are the one that's initiating it and they are the one that's observing you initiate it. Okay, because they're the one that think you can't do it. You're the one that's doing it, right? So they are the watcher, you are the creator. Does that make sense? You follow me? Pay attention, this is important. Do you understand that? So when someone says, your parents or friends, say, I don't know, man, I don't think you can do that. They are the ones that's watching you. And you're the one that's saying, well, I'm going to do it. I can do it. You're the one that's doing it. Are we correct? So we got the observer and the creator. Got that? All right, so here's what happens now. The creator always wins out of the observer because the creator have more energy towards what they want. The observer is watching. Got that? So what ends up happening now, it manifests in your world and your world comes into their world. And that's where they say, I don't believe it. This guy manifested. How'd you do it? I didn't think you could have done it. That's how it always works. So what's the lesson you learned today? The lesson you really learned is every person have their own map and beliefs of reality, and it will play out for each person in a experienced way. So you should not let anybody tell you what you can't or cannot do. Right? And then whatever you want to do, someone says they won't get a dime either. Sorry, that's you. That's how you do it. Got it? So guys, here's the books. You can check them out. This is the lottery book, How to Win the Lottery Using Quantum Mechanics. Guide map on how for you to manifest the lottery. Yes, actually manifest the lottery. Look, there is a book about how to manifest the lottery by using your mind, not luck or chance. Actually deliberately creating it. So first of its kind. You can see it. Been doing really. And the cheat code to master the game of life. More inter details. Get these both available on Amazon paperback. And also you can get into my one-on-one mentoring where I help you achieve the greatest part of your life. Work with you. Right? Put it there. Just got your copy? Good. Good. So this is what's really missing in the world today. Groundbreaking information from different. Now let me say one thing else too. Check this out. So science now is showing us a lot of stuff, right? So we got neuroscience, right? We got epigenetics, right? We got quantum physics. We got psychology, right? Okay, what else we got? We got all these different branches. Now we have parapsychology. You know what parapsychology is? Parapsychology is a new branch of science where they are trying to understand all of what I'm teaching and showing you. Parapsychology goes into the remote viewing, into the high intuition, into collapsing the random number generators, into telepathy, into things that we only can talk about but we can't prove it right now because we don't have the tools or the technology to monitor and test these things. So you can see we're moving into a new era, and we are now recognizing our knowledge and our technology is advancing now, where we're kind of peering into the non-physical, into the spiritual realm. that we innately knew it for hundreds and thousands of years. Our ancestors knew this. Your mothers, they all knew this. They taught this before. Now we're getting to the point where we can actually verify them with actual physical experiments. And that's the beauty of this. So you are on the forefront of simply amazing things. All right? And I will see you guys again next time.